Hey everyone, how's it going? I just want to start off by admitting that I'm actually pretty excited about bringing you this video because it's on something that I've wanted for a long time now. I guess it's also because I made a video a while ago on why I think the Assassin's Creed series needs to take a break, which I've linked below the video, so I guess that you could say that I feel redeemed for making it. So there's a rumour that the next Assassin's Creed game will be coming out in 2017 instead of 2016, presumably in the fall of that year. I just want to emphasise first that this is just a rumour, so make sure you take it with a grain of salt, even though there's a lot of credence to it, but I do think that there is some truth as to what I'm about to say. It was posted on 4chan by someone claiming to be an illustrator/artist at Ubisoft. I know that 4chan isn't the most reliable of places, but according to Jason Schreier, who is the editor of Kotaku, and usually pretty well informed with regards to Assassin's Creed, there is some truth to what the developer says in his post. We also have to remember that it was Kotaku who leaked screenshots of Assassin's Creed Syndicate at the end of 2014, back when it was known as Assassin's Creed Victory, and that 4chan was where information about Bloodborne first leaked, back when it was known as Project Beast. Schreier posted an article on Kotaku soon after the developer posted on 4chan, saying that it lines up with what his independent sources have told him over the past few months. Plus he revealed the codename for the project to be Assassin's Creed Empire. However, I don't think this will be the game's final title in the same way that Assassin's Creed Victory wasn't for Syndicate. While the dev said on 4chan that he can't provide any concrete proof to back up his claims because according to him it would be too risky, he is so confident about what he says that he asked people to screenshot his claim and to refer to it when, not if, Assassin's Creed is a no-show at this year's E3. So he starts off by telling us that this new Assassin's Creed game will be set in ancient Egypt before the Assassins and the Templars even existed, and that it'll basically be a prequel to the other Assassin's Creed games. He also says that one of the reasons they picked this setting was because this period in history in particular isn't as well documented, so it gives them more creative freedom with what they can do in the game. Apparently this one will have a lot more story than any of the other games because of this. Since it's a period that is much closer to the times of the first civilization, I also think it might be a much better way of learning more about it in this period as opposed to getting forced cutscenes in the present day. He said they'll be going for more of a Witcher feel this time around, with player progression and a freeform combat system, so hopefully we can expect a lot of very diverse, unique quests like the ones that we got in The Witcher. You'll be able to traverse the world with either a ship or a horse, and those who didn't like the naval combat in Assassin's Creed and Black Flag don't have to worry since there won't be any of it in this game. It will just be a means of navigation, and some will have interiors that you can enter for quests. It's also very exciting for me to hear that the Black Flag team will be the one developing the game, as Black Flag is probably my second favourite Assassin's Creed game after the second one. When Assassin's Creed Syndicate was leaked, I initially thought it would be brought to us by them instead, since the games have a 2-year dev cycle. After it was made clear that it wasn't them, I always wondered what the game director Ashraf Ismail was up to with his team, since it says on his LinkedIn that he has been serving as game director on an unannounced project for the past 2 years. The reason they are supposedly taking a break is to completely revamp the series, thank God, and the world is completely made from scratch. I was so glad to read this because I don't really think I could have taken another game with what I like to call the Unity formula. There will be a lot less recycling of in-game assets, and while they are going to be recycling the animations, they will be changing most of them. You will play as someone who used to be a slave that looks like Altair but with darker skin. It was said that he looks like the character that you can see in this screenshot. I know that some of you might have seen this screenshot already back when it was leaked a few years ago, but it's not actually from this new game. The developer claimed that it was from a cancelled game that was being made between Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed. I think it's great that we're going to get to play as a character in ancient Egypt with darker skin, because that was how people really looked back then. This was the reason why Ridley Scott's film Exodus: Gods and Kings, based on the story of Moses, caught so much flack because they used white actors to portray Egyptians. Apparently he will be someone that barely speaks though. I don't know how I feel about this because even though I thought it worked in Metal Gear Solid 5, it was because of the reveal in the true ending that I won't spoil. Maybe they're going for more of an Altair approach because looking back, he wasn't really someone that spoke a lot too. He then goes on to say that the biggest difference between this one and the other games will be how colourful it looks, from the blue skies and the lush vegetation to the desert sequences. The character will also have a pet eagle which we can control. This would make sense because Assassins have always had a strong link to eagles, and I hope it works similarly to the way that you'll be able to control animals in the upcoming game Wild. Hopefully they'll improve the parkour and fix the control issues, even though it seems like there won't be much to climb outside of the small cities and villages. It will probably be very similar to Black Flag in terms of how much there is to climb. I love the fact that it might be set in ancient Egypt. It's a setting that I've been wanting to see in a video game for a long time now, and while it's not the same, it would help fill the void that Prince of Persia left. The last great Prince of Persia game that we had was the reboot, which had that cel-shaded art style, and it came out 7 years ago. When he was asked about Prince of Persia, he said that we should forget it because it will never come back. According to him, the reason there is an Assassin's Creed in the first place is because Ubisoft don't actually own the Prince of Persia IP, so they'd have to pay for the license. Assassin's Creed on the other hand is an IP they actually own, so they don't have to pay any license fees and they can have more control over the whole thing. While it does sadden me to find out that we'll probably never get another Prince of Persia game, having the next Assassin's Creed game set in ancient Egypt could definitely make up for it. Apparently you could also travel to ancient Greece using a ship, but it was cut from the game because of scale issues. Exactly how ships will work seems to be a mystery to him, but he does say that they are thinking about using this character for a trilogy, and that ancient Greece or Rome could be featured in the sequels. Let's just hope the character doesn't end up being the Aiden Pierce that he's making him out to be if this is what they're thinking about. In terms of the size of the game, he said that it will be about 3 times the size of Black Flag, and that unlike that game, everything is seamless in the sense that you don't have to load cities anymore. With regards to a game set in feudal Japan, he said that it's in the works, but it isn't even close to the alpha stage yet. He also mentioned that co-op has been completely cut for the time being, and that he's not sure it'll ever be back. I'm personally happy about this because I think it was poorly implemented in Unity anyway, and it didn't really work. Plus I'm pretty sure that the online aspect of the game was a big factor behind why it launched in the state that it did. Now there is an Assassin's Creed movie coming out later this year starring Michael Fassbender, and it does sound a bit weird that a company that's been all about annualizing Assassin's Creed would miss out on the chance to capitalize on this by releasing a new game. They did the same thing after all with Prince of Persia back when the movie came out in 2010. They released Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, which really is better left forgotten, to coincide with it. But instead of releasing a new game, I think they'll just release a remastered collection of the previous last gen games like Assassin's Creed 2 and 3. Ubisoft did recently register the website domain assassinscreedcollection.com after all. I wouldn't be surprised if they also gave Rogue the remastered treatment and released this on Xbox One and PS4 this year. The dev who posted on 4chan also noted that they might put together a remaster pack and sell it when the movie comes out, which adds to the probability of this happening. I also think that not releasing something completely new this year would help Syndicate sales in the long run, since it's pretty clear that it didn't sell as well as the other games. Plus it also seems like Ubisoft has a big game lined up for the fall of this year anyway, which is rumoured to be Watch Dogs 2 set in San Francisco. With releases like The Division, Far Cry Primal and now Watch Dogs 2, they'll be set up for a great year despite the lack of a new Assassin's Creed game. Ubisoft issued an official comment to IGN about the leak, telling them, quote, "We can't comment on rumour or speculation. We're always happy when players are excited about our games past, present and future. In the meantime, we hope that the latest images from the Assassin's Creed movie set will keep fans of the franchise happy and eager to find out more." End quote. I think the fact that they didn't deny it is very telling indeed. I really hope this rumour turns out to be true because it would definitely be a step in the right direction, and I've been saying for a while now that the Assassin's Creed series needs to take a break. According to Kotaku's Jason Schreier, someone familiar with Ubisoft's plans told him today that the decision to delay it from 2016 to 2017 was to allow the development team more time to improve and polish the game. I think the performance of Assassin's Creed Syndicate sales-wise also factored into this choice. He also said that they might start releasing a different Assassin's Creed game every 2 years instead from now on. So that about rounds up all the information we got from the rumour and my thoughts on it. It's important to bear in mind that since the game is in the middle of development, some of the things that were said might change even though they might be true at this moment in time. The ones that stand out in particular to me are the pet eagle and maybe the silent protagonist, but we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll talk with you again soon.